Well, I'm just on my way up to Harrison's Cameras in Sheffield to just get something for me camera. Cause it's only something about a tenner, and I don't they're giving me for now. I'm a bit cheeky, that, innit? I've become a bit cheeky lately. How's it going? All right?
Yes, thank you.
Not bad. Keep your eye out for them burglars round here. You know we don't want robbing, do we?
No, we don't.
I like to speak to neighbours. You know what I mean? It's we don't nobody likes burglars, do they? I mean, if there is any burglary, as long as I get offered tackle, I'm not bothered. Only joking. Don't try this at home, kids. Right. I think we're going to be speaking to Stig from Fury Power this morning. I'm looking forward to that, but if he doesn't ring, I'm on my way up to Harrison's Cameras and then up to Dennis Hobson's office, and with a bit of luck I might get a go in his no beamer. I'll give it a frap. Den's not into cars, you know. He's had some nice ones. If you go on Google, you'll see he's had some gorgeous ones, but you're not into them, you don't wash them. They don't get washed now, I'm not there, do they? He curbs them, lights come on dashboard. He don't put squirty in for window wiper thing. There's all sorts of flashing lights. He don't take them for services. He's not bothered about cars. He's not a car man, but he must be nice when he can just go out and pick what you want, or make a phone call and pick, and they drop it off. Must be nice, but I don't begrudge anybody that's successful, not even Edward Hearn. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I get that sunroof pushed back and we'll have a bit of lighting, huh? Is that better? Do I look better looking? Am I better looking like that? What do you think? What do you think, Cole? Pew 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 pew! With your little pea shooter. Pew pew pew! Cole, at least send me a proper picture. Send me a proper one, Cole. Don't send me one like that. Pew pew! So I used to do that when I was 9. Right. I've got an interview tomorrow that's going to kick off a new series with people that are signed up, and I'm going to be suited and booted, all being well. Things are looking good, and the channel is looking prosperous, and the numbers this week are off the charts. It's all up, 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 up. It's all the way up for Porky's Corner. We're heading to the top, baby. We're heading to the top. Now, it looks like Stig Power has bottled it. Let me just pull in here. I better get them questions out, because now he might look, he'll ring me, Stig, and I want to get these questions from Roscoe put to him, because it's about the fans, for the fans. It's about the fans. But the day started off crap. But is that another VW for sale there? I might have to turn around and put a bid on that on the way home. Right. We're just nipping here. We're just nipping here. Oh. 2 seconds. What are you here? What are you saying? Jill, am I alright to do a bit of filming over there? I'm debating whether to go do some filming over here where this horse is here. It's an ex-girlfriend's horse actually, but I don't know whether I should if it's no, I'll leave it. We'll come another day. We'll come another day. I don't wanna. Well, or should I? Stig. I'll tell you what, I'll just ring Stig, shall I? We'll ring Stig. Stig?
Hello, mate.
How are you doing?
Yes.
Sorry about that, mate. I had volume button off, it's my fault. I know you've been trying to ring, sorry, mate. I'm debating whether to just drag camera around and feed this horse. Can you give horses wine gums? Oh no, we'll do it in car. We'll do it in car because I want to get up to Dennis's this morning. We'll do it in car. In fact, we'll get off now then. Right, I've got these You want, pal?
Say hi to Dennis from Team Hot.
I'll Team what? Team what? Hot? Well, I thought it was Team Fury. Oh, Hot Stig.
Heather and me are Team Hot.
Oh, God, Stig, I swear to God, honestly, you're a character. God help us if you end up famous, Stig. You will be fucking excuse me. You will be unbearable. Could you imagine you going into the opening at red carpet events? So,
No,
yeah.
I know the rules of life, and I break them to evoke laughter. But I understand. I know how to behave, mate.
Yeah.
I know how to behave.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, really, yeah, I heard that. I heard your conversation with Roscoe yesterday. Bless him.
Yeah, I don't think he's keen on you, Roscoe Stig. He might be if he meets you.
Well, sorry?
He might be if he meets you because you are likeable, aren't you?
Well, yeah, I hope so, and I like to think so. Yes. Look, mate, what I'd like to say, just give me a few minutes, is that
Yeah, go on, yeah.
I'm confident Tyson is a very special boxing talent. Not only is he a great boxer, he's got incredible powers of recovery, and he's now proven that 4 times when he's got off the floor, and he's been fine instantly. Now, I just basically, as I see what's happened, was Tyson was always a great boxing talent, but he wasn't right emotionally or mentally up until and after the big fight with Vlad.
Yeah.
And I firmly believe that Tyson thought that once he beat Vlad, he would be loved and appreciated by everybody.
Yeah.
And we know what happened. Now, Tyson has been in the wilderness, was in the wilderness for 2 years, and he learned how to live, and he realised that approval isn't what life's about. Life is about making the most of your talents. And he realised that what he's got to do is get himself right. He made that fantastic effort and got himself right. And then that culminated in him beating Deontay. Now, I believe he beat him by more than you. That's fine. But we both agree that he beat Deontay. And then he took the errant decision of the judges like a perfect gentleman. It was beautiful. It was the pinnacle of his career so far.
Yeah.
Now, we've got all of these trolls, these vile people that want Tyson to be focused on the negatives of life, and they're on Twitter. Now, Disneyland were going to buy Twitter in 2018, and they backed out because of all the vile behaviour of these wretched negative trolls who hate the essence of Tyson, which is essentially to maximise your excellence in life, to try and be perfect. Now, Tyson isn't perfect, none of the Furies are, but in their heart of hearts, they want to be the best that they can be, and they want to be very genuine and sincere gentlemen. Now, Disney also own ESPN, and ESPN can see that in Tyson, and they're now backing him. That's what's going on here. They can see how magnificent, how apple pie that bloke is. And look, I include Huey in that and Tommy in that. Huey is a great talent, and Tommy, I mean, the bloke he's a dream, isn't he, really, quite frankly? I mean, he looks incredible, and look at the way the young man's behaving. It's absolutely fantastic. And John's on board with that. I've heard John say things. This is what the Furies want, and they're now backed by Disney. So when people help me in what I do on social media, can I please ask them not to use bad language? It doesn't offend me, but it damages Tyson's image, and it's not in accordance with Disneyland. Essentially, Tyson Fury, as far as Disney are concerned, is a Disney movie, and they're backing that. So can we stop the bad language when we're opposing trolls and not send vile gifts? I appreciate all these people. I know that they're Fury fans, but let's leave all of that behaviour to the trolls that oppose us. Let them look frustrated and angry, and us to look confident and like a Lassie movie that throws punches. Please. There we are.
Yeah. Could you repeat that? What did you say? I'm only joking. Yeah, look, I swear, but at the beginning of the year, I said to my kids' mum, I said, look, my New Year's revolution, or whatever they call it, the word, is to not swear as much, not take drugs, and just to be happy and do something that I'm enjoying. Not to, I'm one of them kids whereas I can, whatever I turn my hand at, I seem to do all right at, but I have to. But then again, if I say, for instance, if you're knocking cars out or you're messing with scrap metal, that don't make me happy. Although the financials off it are good, but it don't make me happy. There's other things I can do as well that can make me unhappy, but the financials are good, and it can also make me on edge. Well, I'm doing this now, and there's obviously no financial rewards in this, but I'm in a better place. Does that seem right? Does that seem right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
right.
I'm in a good place at a moment in my life, and I cherish every day. And I watched a programme last night about Glenn Hoddle. You know, that really skillful footballer.
Of course I do. Yeah.
And he had an heart attack, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know about this, and because obviously I don't follow football, and he had an heart attack, and he can just have it took away from you like that. So I just want to be happy and be a better person. I'm no angel, obviously I've done bad stuff.
None of us are, mate.
I'm probably the biggest sinner in Doncaster. But you've got to do some. Well, it's probably worse than me, but you've got to do something that makes you happy. And I'm happy doing this. And knocking about with the people that I am knocking about. I've got a good team behind me. I've got a really good team behind me, and that's part and parcel of it. And the things we've got lined up are brilliant. I'm not being a big head on that, but I'd like to think that, you know, I've put the effort in with this channel, and people can't see, you haven't got so many subscribers and blah blah blah. Look, for what subscribers I've got, right, the watch times we're getting, right, the minutes per video people are watching is brilliant. It's off at scale for the subscribers we're getting. So that means the content's good.
We're proud of you, Russ.
The content's good, innit? The content's good. I can't please everybody with what I say. I can't please everybody. I've no bad in my heart, but go on, yeah.
That breakdown, that statistical comparison of the careers of Andre Ward and Carl Froch that you did earlier this week was world class.
Yeah,
it was excellent, mate.
Oh, thank you.
Of course it was. I mean, Russ, look, compared to you, I'm a casual, and of course I've become a helmet head, or a really keen since March over the last 3 years. I will never have the boxing knowledge you've got, but I do apply myself and I work very hard. And look, Russ, can I say, Russ, that I am not obsessed with the Furies. Unequivocally, I'm obsessed with people being the best that they can with the talents they've been given. That's my obsession. That's my obsession. And that's when I saw that huge talent, Tyson Fury, being, quite frankly, crucified on social media and unfairly, hysterically, unreasonably treated, and the consequential waste of that talent, it made me angry. But I'm not obsessed with Tyson. I love Tyson, I like Tyson, I admire Tyson, but it's excellence in his life, in Peter's life, in Huey's life, in Tommy's life, and in Russell Hartley's life that I'm obsessed with. That's what my passion is, and that's what this is about. Disneyland, agree with that. Disneyland, that's Tyson. So look, Russ, it's not in your interest. Swear, if you were swearing on that excellent old box Andre Ward video, you detract from your excellent photograph. So just moderate your language and you do a fantastic job. It enhances what you do and it makes you credible. It increases your credibility. Why detract from that with obscenities? It's silly. I mean, when Tyson says lovely things like, I'm as fit as a trout, that it's disarming, it's charming, and it adds value. When he swears, he detracts from that. Now, if Tyson does that, if he wants to detract from his image, that's his business, and I'm not going to criticise him. It's his life. But the fact is, Tyson and Russell Hartley have enough intelligence and enough knowledge and enough charm not to need to do that, to present themselves to the world in the best possible way. And let's not make this world a better place. That's what you're doing, Russ. That's what Disney wants Tyson to do with them, and that's what's going on. And all these pretenders who are frustrated and backing a fake, which I'm sorry to say is Anthony Joshua, let them use all the bad language. Let them use all the vile, obscene gifts. Let them throw all the vile lies and say horrid things, so that the whole world can see who's decent, who's excellent, who's trying their best, and who is a fake.
God, you're really on it today, Stig, aren't you? You've had your shredded wheat this morning, Stig, haven't you?
Mate, I never have breakfast. All I have is coffee. I find that if I eat any other time other than the evenings when I get in, I need to have a sleep to sleep it off for at least half an hour. So I'd rather be active and not eat during the day. I just eat at night time. That's what I do. I'm told off by Heather and other girlfriends that tell me off, this is unhealthy, but it works for my body, so that's what I do. What I might need to do, come see you, Stig. So I'll see what fans' reaction is. Do the fans who comment, the boxing fans who comment on social media, do they want me to come and do a day in the life of Hot Stig? What do you think? I don't know. My life is pretty humdrum, mate, really, and you can't be with me when I'm driving a cab. But I mean,
why not? Is it health and safety? Is it health and safety or something?
Yeah, I can't have anyone else in my cab when I'm working.
Well, yeah, how come you have passengers in?
Sorry? Well,
you have passengers in, don't you?
They're paying passengers, aren't they?
Oh, is that how it works? Yeah. Right. What I did want to say, I'm going to tell you now, Stig. I don't want you to tell anybody because I'm going to put a video out later on today before this video. Because what I'll do, I'll send them to NJ, and this one will go out first. But Peter Fury got in touch with me this morning, and he's going to be coming on this boxing royalty or boxing loyalty or whatever I'm going to call it. He's going to be coming on it in next couple of months. Glenn McCrory, Robin Reed, Glyn Rose, Dennis Hobson. I'm going to do interviews with them. I might not, because people's changed their mind at the drop of a hat in boxing, in boxing industry. But I'm going to interview these people and I'm going to find out what makes them tick. Now it involves research. It's going to be, I'm going to sell them to the public, and hopefully it'll help their careers and it'll help our channel, because I can't keep doing this what I'm doing for nothing, Stig. You know, it's the money that I've got invested in the channel at the moment over 15 months is astronomical. If I showed you some of the receipts, and there's got to be a balance, hasn't there, in anything that you do. It started out as a hobby, now it's become a bit of an obsession, I'd say, but it's got to start churning something in, because there's no money in ads. So I've either got to put more effort in, or get better content, or put better stuff out, or try a different angle. Do you see where I'm coming from, Stig? Where's he gone? Where's he gone? Hang on a minute, let's have him back. Let's have the Stig back. I must have pressed the wrong button. See, this is it with cars. If you press a button on them, there's that much.
Welcome to your EE voice.
God, aren't we all right here?
No messages in your mailbox. Main menu. For greetings, press 2. For settings and features, press 3. For help, press 0.
Right, we'll start again. So I'm hoping to get some interviews with them. They've all said they will come on the channel, but what I wanted to put out was that Peter Furies told me I can put this out, that Huey...
Lost connection, Russ, and my volume was down as well, I've just realised.
It's a nightmare today, this, isn't it? Fridays are a nightmare for Paul. Sorry about that. No, what I was saying is I've got to start putting... I've got to put the same amount of effort in, Stig, but the channel in the next couple of years got to start showing... There's got to be some reward. It can't be... I can't be having other people on the channel with me as business partners, and these people are business people, as you know, and they're successful. But I don't want them to think that God, this boxing, it's just a bit like racehorses, isn't it? There's no reward, is there? But we don't get involved in it with that, but there has to be something coming back. Are you with me, Stig? So I've got to put more effort in, get better content, and maybe get a few more views. You know, it ain't just about me spouting off. I've got to go out and interview some people at least. I don't feel confident interviewing people. I don't feel confident at all, to be honest. I'm a bit frightened of it. I don't think I'm very good at it. I think I'm more better talking into the camera on my own, probably, because I spent over 10 years in jail talking to a mirror, saying what I'm going to do to people when I get out. But then when you get out, you don't do it out anyway. You're just happy to be out. But no, I just the channel's got to start turning a corner in the next couple of years. So
have you applied for a press pass? Have you asked for a press pass?
Yeah, I've actually spoke to the British Boxing Board of Control about the rigmaroles about it, and I'm not going to say who it were because he wanted to speak off the record, and he said you've rocked the boat with a few people, and I said, well look, I don't want to go to press conferences to BT Sport and Matchroom because I know that they want me to go so they can say no, so I don't want to go there. But I know enough people in boxing industry to go out and do something different. So what I'm going to do something different, and
you've got a lot of...
I've got a couple of concepts. Yeah. Obviously, I've got to say I'm thick and I can't change a spare wheel or even fit a grill on a Merc on front of a car. To say I can't do it like that. I've got an IQ of 155, but there must be something fundamentally wrong with me if I'm frightened about doing interviews, or I don't know. I don't feel confident in front of the camera to do them. People might say different, but I don't feel confident.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah, but I mean, but at least you're acknowledging that. I think that anyone that, let's say, it's very similar, isn't it, to I mean, I can remember the first video that I did on Twitter, and it was frightening.
Yeah, yeah.
But I wanted to do it, and it was basically, I was telling Tyson to look after his talent, and I did it. It was in November of 2017 when I did that, I think, early one morning. But you know, when you do these things, you get used to it, and those fears and those apprehensions they
go away, don't they? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Over time with experience. I mean, you've got enough boxing knowledge to interview anyone in boxing.
Yeah, because it's all in my head, isn't it? It's just how it comes out, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, but you just you're only going to improve your skills in doing that by doing that.
Yeah.
So you just got to. I mean, you did have an interview lined up, didn't you?
Don't say his name. Don't say his name on here, Phil. But you know who it is, don't you? But I'm going tomorrow.
I'm not going to.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go see him tomorrow because something can happen, and if something happens, I get people inboxing me saying, you didn't get that interview, blah blah blah. People want to see you fail, don't they? And you know, it's I'm not Mr. Confident all the time, but you have to try, don't you? You've got to try your best. I can understand people being sceptical about doing an interview with me because I'm the type of person that if I hear something and I don't think that's right, I will just say, look, I think you're talking crap. And so that's why I only want to interview people who have got good relationships, why the people I've named now. And obviously I'm going to be interviewing somebody tomorrow whose son that I know, but I don't know him particularly, so it's alien to me, but they're cut from the same sort of cloth as me, if you know what I mean. So I think I'll be alright. Pardon?
Of course you will be.
Yeah.
Just rather don't say you're talking crap.
I'm not going to say that to this particular person. I'll probably get a backhander.
No. But just if saying that comes into your head, just moderate it a little bit and say, well, you know, I really don't agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then you're actually not going to antagonise them. You're not going to invoke extreme emotions in them because. That will frighten the people you're going to interview.
Yeah, you see, the thing is, sorry, go on.
Yeah.
The thing is, Philip, right? I wanted to interview Eddie Hearn, but and I used to get on with Eddie, but once he started coming out with stuff that were so. Once he started to pull wool over, when Carl Froch left, right? There's people say, "What's your problem with Eddie Hearn?" I'll tell you. Let me just press power button again. Right, when Carl Froch left Eddie Hearn, right, before he left in sort of really bad circumstances, and I had a problem with that because Eddie knows the real reason why Carl Froch didn't get the Chavez fight in Vegas, right? Now he'd just beat Groves twice, and he'd beat DeGale. So Carl didn't really need to fight James DeGale. It weren't a Wembley fight. He weren't going to get the same amount of money as Wembley, and he was entitled to that money because he brought pay-per-view back. And he had all them wars, and people now. He laid the blueprint for AJ and Bellew and Brook and all them. Now, and Dillian White. Now he was entitled to that Vegas fight. Now when it came down to the Vegas fight. I'm not going to say what I've heard, but I can assure you that Vegas fight with Chavez, that were more or less signed and delivered, right? But Bob Arum put the spoke in and said, Chavez has got one fight deal left with me. So then it comes to the stage where Bob Arum needs $1 million, right? $1 million. That's got to be pulled from somewhere. Now if Chavez is not going to move on his money, who's it going to? Froch and Eddie's got to take a hit, aren't they? Froch is not going to take a hit. He's used to earning the big money, isn't he? Eddie Hearn weren't prepared to take a hit, were he? And it couldn't get worked out, and it all came out about Carl's elbow and blah blah blah. And he started a camp. Now, one thing Carl don't do, he doesn't waste camps. He believes if you do a 2-week prep camp and then 14-week with Rob up at EIS. You better fight somebody good, because what's the point in doing 14-week camp to fight a dustbin man like Miller, like Joshua? You might as well put yourself through all that hell and have a proper fight, haven't you?
Yeah.
You see where I'm coming from? He didn't want to waste all them camps because he wanted to get the maximum out of himself. Now, it sort of petered out, and I was a bit unimpressed with Eddie Hearn, the story I heard, and I heard it off somebody in media as well. And that person was from America. So when I put it all together, I thought, it's sheer greed. I know Eddie goes on about numbers and that, and yeah, I understand that. I understand that, but Eddie Hearn's not the one in the ring taking the hits, is he? And when I heard how it all got dealt with, and then the fact that I also heard that certain people, I'm not going to say, weren't answering the phones and all that after all they've gone through together, and I think to myself, do you know what? What sort of game are we in here? And it all pointed to him, and I thought, do you know what? I've gone off you, Eddie. And then he started with his AJ hype train. AJ hype train. Now, I know somebody that knocked Charlie Martin about 2 months before he fought Joshua. Sorry, not Joshua. The guy who fell over and did his knee. Well, it's Spilker or something. The guy who won the Tyson's belt, right? Martin's a paper champion, isn't he? Well, I know a guy who sparred Charlie Martin. The simple reason I know this guy, I know his handlers. Now, Charlie Martin's manager used to be a chef for Sylvester Stallone. He's a Scouser. Now, I know somebody who knows him, and I know that this particular person were knocking Charlie Martin about. Now, when Eddie Hearn heard about this, they went hell for leather to get Charlie Martin over here. Joshua fought for not a lot of money, but Charlie Martin got mega money. They were buying the belt, but it were Tyson's belt. It weren't their belt. But Eddie Hearn were talking about it like he'd beat Ali. Listen, when you go through Joshua's record, he's got more holes in it than Biggie Small's Cadillac Escalade, right? When you go through his record, Martin and Parker were paper champions, right? Povetkin a regular champion, age 40. Vladimir pushing 42-year-old, 69, fight life and death. Joshua's record is not what it's cracked up to be. Dillian White had him rocking, but he got injured. Now he won't go near Dillian White. Look, it's all about money, and I don't want to hear all that. And Eddie Hearn just keeps... What he's doing is he's got a brass neck, he's putting himself out there, Eddie, and just putting his head in sand. Well, no matter what we say or do, they're not bothered, they're coining it in, aren't they? They're just kicking sand in fans' faces, and it just does my head in. Now, I had all these questions wrote out, and I thought to myself, I come into this few quid, and I thought, I can either put this money into something else. I could have quite easily gone and bought 4 cars, doubled my money on them. 4 cars, bag of sand a car, double your money, you wait 4 cars, maximum 4 months. But I thought, no, I'll have a couple of billboards, right? It initially started off at 1, but once they'd printed 2 lots up, I kept thinking about it. They'd done that to tease me, so I've got all this well, my mate's got it all had it in his garage, and I kept thinking, God, we've got that other billboard there, all we need is another slot. And it was on my mind ages. I thought, well, it's paid for, isn't it? We might as well have it done. So I arranged it with my mate, and he went and dealt with it. Now, I'm not going to say exactly what I paid for them, but let me just say, right, I did that off my own initiative, right? And I heard what Eddie's response was, calling me a stalker and this and that. He got back to me and I laughed about it, but I would have thought, and I was a bit disappointed with Eddie, you would have thought that, I like to think that I got on alright with Eddie before we fell out. I would have liked to have thought that somebody who gave me VIP tickets that were worth a lot of money to shows and treated me and my kids' mum with respect, I would have thought he'd have said, you know what, Porky, you've got some balls, you putting them billboards up. Why don't you come on, I will come on your channel, or we can do a phone call and I'll answer these questions that I've got. But like an idiot, I sent him dinner in an email, so he would have, that's where I slipped up. And I blew it, didn't I, really? It didn't work out, and it's up for me now. I can't get where I want to get with channel going front way. We've got to go through back door now, and then it's only hard work's going to do it now to bring the channel so that it's paying for itself. Because all I really want for this channel to do is cover the expenses for petrol and the 2 offices that I've got, and the petrol. That's all I want it to do. and cover a bit of time for my partner for editing, my business partner for editing and stuff like that. We're not bothered about earning pocketfuls of money because we're both very fortunate and we love boxing that much. If this channel can do that, I'm going to be very, very happy, and we probably will do it soon with sponsorship or something like that down the line. It ain't about me making £1 a week and just being a big head and a celebrity. No, if the channel can cover the expenses and everybody can have a little bit of something, because you've got to leave a bit of bread in somebody's mouth, haven't you? Without throwing loads of money at it, like Dennis, right? Dennis loses thousands on boxing, but he can afford to, can't he? I'm not in his position. Are you with me? I'm not going to be like Coogan. Coogan's, I'm not saying he's a yes man, because he's quite a likeable kid actually. I've met him a few times, but he knows what he can ask and he knows how far to take it, doesn't he? Really, he can't. There's a line he can't overstep, and we did speak about this in Bulgaria, me and Coogan, in this club, me and Dennis. But the bottom line is, it's going to be hard for me to get these interviews. I'm only going to get them if people are going to fall out with Matchroom, because let's face it, Matchroom are big dogs, aren't they, at the moment? They're the big dogs. Frank's following closely second, and he's making up ground. Now Eddie needs this DAZN to chase Frank, doesn't it? To keep ahead of Frank. But I'm not going to get them on channel, Stig. Listen, Stig. I'm not going to get these people on channel if I'm going to dig them out. So I've got to play ball a little bit, and I don't want to be a company man, but there's got to be a balance. I can't be black and white. I've got to be grey. The stuff I could come out with on here, Stig, that could blow the lid off boxing, and I could have people knocking on my door, and quite rightly so, and probably want to give me a good hiding. Trolls and that, I can handle them. You know, there's talkers and there's cheese and onion walkers. People making threats in emails and comments, that don't really bother me, right? I've been round block enough, and I'm 10 years behind the door, aren't I? So if you can do 10 years at Nick, what's a troll? Or if they know where I am, come and knock on the door. They're not going to do that. I can handle that, but there has to be a balance. I can't put myself in a situation where I'm messing up people's livelihoods. I can't do that, but I also can't be in a situation where certain fighters are getting multi-million-pound fights for fighting rubbish and fans are out of pocket. There has to be a balance, and there has to be a balance for me as well. I don't want to go around upsetting everybody, but there's got to be people. I want people to say to me, do you know what? They were good questions, them. You didn't go over the top. You didn't lose your cool. And I don't want people to say to me, you're up like Eddie's arse or something. For instance, Dennis Robson's last show, right? When I did that video, I showed it my kid's mum. I said, what do you think to that? I sent it to her. She went, oh. Dennis will be on phone as soon as he sees that. And sure as eggs were eggs, he got on phone and he said, well, why don't you have a go yourself? And the reason I won't have a go is because I nearly did have a go with Curtis Woodhouse and Junior Witter, and I would have lost money. Right, I couldn't get TV involved. It would a winner-takes-all fight. Dave Caldwell said my fighter, Curtis Woodhouse, isn't fighting for nothing. Curtis and Witter said yes, but it's the people behind them. This is why maybe I'm out of order saying Tyson might be a chicken, or is he a chicken? He didn't want to fight Wilder. He's fought him once. Maybe I might have been harsh there, but it's the people around them, innit? And I revert back to that when I said to Dave Caldwell, your fighter's up for it. 30 grand in pot, winner takes all. Witter Woodhouse at Donny Dome. It's 2 grand for Dome, 30 for winner, that's 32 you've got to find in it. Then you've got security. I added it all up and I thought if it sells out, it'll break even and then my foot's in the door. I was going to use somebody else's licence. I had it all figured out. Barry Earn got in touch with me and he said TV aren't interested, but he sent me a tenner. So I think, look, end of the day, right, we can only try, but boxing has to help itself. I can't be too critical on people because sometimes it ain't the fighter's fault. It's the people behind them. It ain't the fighter's fault. And sometimes I can't get out of my head. But the fighter's input, it's such a messed up business, isn't it? It's so messed up. But I genuinely believe Tyson don't fear anybody. But I think if deep down, if he really wanted to, I think he could have the Wilder fight. But then again, Wilder's got handlers as well. So I think we're all quick to criticise. Even Joshua Joshua, we have criticised, but he is in a position where he can say to Eddie Hearn, make the fight. Look, when Roy Jones, right, lost against Montel Griffin, his first loss, the first thing he said was, make the fight. They didn't even have a rematch clause. And what they turned around and said is, well, you're only going to get this amount. He was getting notes after this camp he'd paid for. He said, look, just make the fight, and they made it. Now, he had the power then, Roy Jones. Now, Roy Jones and Dennis are good mates, so I do know a little bit how this works. Joshua has the power now. He could say, just make it work, and they'd make it work. But now you've got people like Bob Arum, the Bob father, involved, and Al Heyman, and egos, and Eddie Hearn, and let's face it, Eddie's ego is now off the scale, and it's rubbing off on other people. Did you see that Frank Smith with the spots, that is, oxycute them with Oxy 10. Did you see Frank Smith's interview on Boxing Social? He's starting to look like Eddie Hearn. He's got the beard, the turtleneck, talk like him, and even think like him.
I know.
They're breeding them in Essex.
Russ, can I just come back to the Tyson situation?
No, you can't.
Why?
Go on, sorry. Go on.
Look, mate. The reality is, this is the reality. Tyson went off the rails. Anthony, and particularly Anthony's promotional team, capitalised on that and have been claiming Anthony is the best. Now, we know Tyson is better than Anthony. Now, Tyson has turned his life around. He's made a magnificent recovery. He has just fought the most dangerous heavyweight, certainly presently and arguably of all time, with one punch, and Deontay is unconventional but very dangerous. Now, if Tyson doesn't fight Deontay next, in my view, in his situation, he is entitled to fight someone else. He's earned the right, mate, to just enjoy being what he is, and he's backed by ESPN. Now, I want that fight with the rematch with Deontay. I'm confident Tyson wants it, but it's not going to go away if Tyson has some one or two or a few other fights. I really don't know before it happens. And the Anthony fight will always be there, and we will always have to deal with people like Eddie and all of the people who support Anthony and think he's the best until that fight happens. And in my view, Tyson beats Anthony more easily than Deontay, and in my view, Deontay will knock Anthony out. That's my view, because Anthony doesn't recover well enough after he's been chinned. Tyson does, and Deontay connected with Tyson, and Tyson is arguably the hardest hit to heavyweight in the world currently. The only contender for that crown being Huey Fury, who, well, that's another story altogether, yeah. But Huey is a quality operator. So can we just, I don't think Tyson's ducking anyone. I really don't. So he's entitled to a bit of space and a bit of time. He is, mate. He's been through an awful lot. And I am really proud of the man that he has become. I really am, mate. I'm chuffed to bits for the bloke.
Yeah. Yeah, Tyson's turned his life around, hasn't he?
He has.
But
he's a magnificent bloke, mate, and he's the best of this era, and in my view, I can't see anyone in any era. He
is the best heavyweight at the moment in world boxing, Tyson Fury, but it's a poor era.
Well, I can't. Okay, fair enough. I'm not going to argue. But when I think about it, and I think about it a lot, and look through all eras, I can't see anyone with the ability to beat Tyson Fury. I can see somebody. If you mean, well, look, we're talking the art of boxing, aren't we? Right? I could see him against Lennox Lewis. I think Lennox Lewis is as good a boxer. I don't think he's as good a mover. And I don't think he's as good defensively, but he's as good a boxer, and I think Lennox Lewis would be probably, well, they say he was a perfect fighter, don't they, Lennox Lewis? He was perfect. He beat everybody he fought, didn't he? So I'd say Lennox Lewis would. All right. It'd be a split decision, wouldn't it? Well, look. I've got a lot of time and respect.
Could go either way. could go either way, but you'd take them two from the last 20 years as probably the top dogs, wouldn't you? Riddick Bowe, maybe. Maybe.
Look, I'm not going to argue. I don't agree, but I'm not going to argue. But I would say that I've got a lot of time and respect for Lennox, and especially with his comments towards Anthony and Eddie that he's been making recently. And Lennox himself clearly appreciates the talent that is Tyson Fury. So what can I say? I mean,
Glenn McClory said to me overnight, right? I spoke to Glenn McClory, and he said he says Tyson's #1 heavyweight in world boxing at the moment, and he would give anybody from any era nightmares.
Well, I've met, you know, I met Glenn with you.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you met him at that party we went to, didn't you?
Now, last week, Glenn put a tweet out on Talk Sports saying that Tyson's #1, Deontay's #2. I agree, because I do believe he knocks Anthony out, and Anthony's #3. And me and Glenn were having some tweets about that, and Glenn actually retweeted my tweets, because I said that someone's a friend of mine on Twitter who doesn't swear, but he's not a member of Fury Power at the moment because he's not done enough work to get installed in Fury Power. He said, "I hope you're well, Stig," and I then replied and said, "I'm not as well as Glenn." A lot of people don't know, but Glenn was Mike Tyson's principal sparring partner when Mike Tyson was at his...
Yeah, I know all about that, mate. Yeah, did he tell you about that on that night?
No, I'd learnt that from Tris. He did a long interview with Tris Dixon on Boxing Life Stories.
Do you want me to tell you a little story about that when he got there? You know, when Glenn McCrory, he got there and they'd lost his gym bag.
I know.
He had to go down to Market. And I think it was Mark Breland gave him $100. He's Olympic gold medalist, Mark Breland. He's one of Tyson's entourage. He gave him $100. I think it was Mark Breland. Or the crocodile guys. Him who goes like that, you know, with his neck, pretending to slit your throat. One of them gave him $100. He went to market. He got plimsolls, really cheap ones like Gola and or Dunlop Green Flash, and he went and got a T-shirt or something, and he sparred him, and I don't think he dropped him. Glenn boxed him. I think there were him. And who's the other guy who Robin Reed's mate, who never got dropped by him as well? Joe Egan, Big Joe Egan.
Yeah, the Irish guy.
Yeah, Joe Egan. He came to Dennis's dad's funeral. Celebration of his life. Yeah, Joe Egan turned up on night, and I ended up sat with him and Bunce.
Because Tyson, he was the Irish amateur champion, wasn't he, for many years?
Tough man. He nearly had a fight with Tim Witherspoon, you know. This duo I were at once. Joe Egan and Tim Witherspoon had a fallout. And do you know that Tim Witherspoon? Do you know where he did him? Listen to this for a boxing story. I'm not going to say who these particular people were at Sheffield one night. It was after a Clinton Woods fight. They all went into the toilets, and they were all doing what they were doing, right, in toilets, and they had it all on windowsill. Anyway, next thing, door got kicked straight open. Everybody went, and it was Tim Witherspoon with that big booming laugh. He went straight over to the urinal. He did what he did, zipped his zipper up, walked over, washed his hands while they were carrying on doing what they were doing, and then he turned the thing to dry your hands, and he pointed it for a laugh in their direction at windowsill. Now normally everybody would have probably had a laugh about that, but they put a full one on the windowsill, and this is like 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was the last one that they had, and it blew it all off windowsill. Yeah, that's a true story. So
well, Joe Egan, he was also, so we had Glenn, who was never put down in sparring by Tyson. Tyson used to try to knock Glenn's head off, but Glenn boxed him. Yeah. Glenn clearly knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, go on, yeah. Go on. Yeah, go on.
He was also very popular as a sparring partner, wasn't he, with Mike Tyson? But
who what?
Joe Egan.
Yeah, Joe Egan's. Joe Egan came to Doncaster to Asken, and Mike Tyson was stopping in Doncaster, and they all had a Sunday dinner at this kid's house in Asken who was a Tyson fan. And Joe Egan and Mike Tyson are really, really close friends. Actually, they've. I think he's been Joe's in. I think Mike Tyson got him involved with acting. Joe Egan gets phone calls off Robert Downey Jr., mate. You know, Iron Man. Because he was in a film with him, wasn't he? Now, that's a true story, that. But Joe Egan's a nice guy. I didn't get on with Joe when I first met him because you what?
He was in Sherlock Holmes, wasn't he, with Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah. Well, what I did. You can. When I were on Twitter, every time I saw something from Joe Egan, I used to say, Joe, he's really. I pulled his leg about Mike Tyson. Anyway, it went down the wrong way, but. And Robin said, oh, Ross, nip it in, bud, he's my pal. So, and ever since then, I've gotten alright with him, Joe Egan. But we can stereotype people, can't we, about what they do with the tweets? And I'm probably one of the worst ones. That's why I don't tweet now. Even though we're on Twitter. What is our Twitter, Stig? @CornerPorky. Yeah. But I don't do the tweets, so you'd know if I were doing them because I sign off with a pig picture, don't I?
Well, it's good. It's good that you're not on Twitter at the moment, but I
don't need to be.
You don't need to be. You're going to mellow, and you know, and you may well come back.
Yeah, I've got these questions I need to ask you, Stig.
Hang on, can I just say about Joe Egan? So he was never
go on.
He was never put down by Mike Tyson either.
No, he weren't actually, but I think he had broken ribs, didn't he?
Mike Tyson said he's the toughest white man ever.
Well, I don't like to use them terms. I just like to say toughest man.
He walked in. No, but that's what Mike said.
Yeah, but is that racist? Him saying that? Is that racist?
Well, whatever.
Sorry, go on, yeah. I know, I'm only pulling your leg. We have to be careful, don't we, with this PC world, Philip?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm not being racist.
I know you're not, mate. You haven't got a racist bone in you.
Now, but Joe Egan walks across the road and he was hit by a car and that stopped his boxing career. He injured his knee, didn't he?
Yeah, true story, that.
That's why he didn't turn pro.
Yeah.
He injured his leg. He was sparring with Mike Tyson in New York and he got hit by a car. So,
yeah, it's a true story, that.
Boxing missed out on Joe's pro career, unfortunately, but there we go.
No, he did have a pro career. He had a couple of fights, didn't he, Joe? If you go on BoxRec, Joe Egan BoxRec, you'll see that he had probably a handful of fights, if that.
Okay.
He didn't have that. When he fought and won, I can't remember his record, but listen, if he takes you outside in a pub, it's on top for you. Alright? You're going to have your work cut out. He's 22 stone, 6'2". You're going to be in a world of pain. And but he's alright, like, he's alright, Joe, and I like him. He's likeable, isn't he? He's a character. He came to Dennis's dad's celebration of his life at Ponsford, like Clinton, Ryan Rhodes, Bunsey, everybody were there. He came over, Dennis was sat right at bottom, he walked straight in. He's Dennis a big hug, shook his hand. He said, I've come to pay my respects, Dennis. So as far as I'm concerned, I love Joe Egan. I like him. So he's a nice guy. I know some people, not everybody's going to like everybody in life. One of my friends had a run-in with somebody down other end of the country, or I'm not going to say who, but this guy got Joe Egan to make a phone call on that, but that's not to do with me, and things happen down the line. But I like Joe Egan, and if things can be resolved without violence, isn't that good? I mean, what sort of world are we living in where you can say something on Twitter about boxing and people want to turn to violence? If you start talking about people's missuses and children, well, then I'm all for people giving you a visit, because there's a line you don't cross, and I'm not into that. No, but an apology for me sometimes works. You don't have to go down that road of violence, because nobody ever achieved anything picking them up, my mum used to tell me. Sorry, my dad used to tell me, and he's right. Now, you learn by your mistakes, don't you? But getting back to these questions from your good friend Roscoe, do you want me to read them out to you?
Right, hang on, one quick point, right?
Well, then.
Joe Egan, is he related to Steve Egan? Is that
no.
Steve Egan? No, okay, alright.
Right, these questions, are you ready?
Yeah.
Right, Stig, what's your reaction, Stig, to the news yesterday, this was obviously from the other day, regarding the WBC saying Fury versus Wilder isn't next. What's your reaction to that, Philip the cabbie?
Well, we've already covered this. I've covered it without being asked. But essentially, mate, look, Tyson has been through everything he's been through. The only reason Anthony is perceived as the number one by a lot of people is because Tyson was there. Tyson has done a tremendous job coming back. He's just in his first fight fought the most dangerous heavyweight currently in the world, and he beats him. He's not ducking anybody. He wants that fight. I passionately want that fight. I can't see that it's in Bob Aaron's interests not to have that fight, or Frank Warren's, or Eddie Hearn's. So, or Showtime. Who's the what's his name? Al Haymon. So I mean, we want that fight, but let's give Tyson some respect that he's due. The respect that he didn't get after beating Vlad, which he deserved, and Eddie wouldn't grant. And look, if he fights Joseph Parker, I actually rate Joseph Parker. I think Joseph Parker was unfairly treated when he fought Anthony. The ref helped him, and also the ref helped him when he fought Gillian, and he allowed Gillian to cheat. So I've not got a problem with it, mate, but I want those fights, and I unequivocally believe Tyson will step up. It's Bob Aaron, Frank Warren's job to make those fights. We want them. Let's see those fights. It's all good.
Yeah. 2 seconds. Let me just press power. Fury power. Right. I see where you're coming from with that, Stig, and maybe we have covered that, but in a different format, in a different conversation. Yeah, I think we just need to let it peter out, but it is frustrating, isn't it?
A little bit, but I don't get as much. I think Tyson deserves to be respected, and it's true, as far as I'm concerned, mate, he went to Germany and beat Vlad, and he's been to America and beat Deontay. Deontay and Showtime had offered a 50-50 split on the rematch, but Tyson's team knew about the ESPN deal. Now that will mean there's more money in that fight now than there was for both of them at 50-50. So I'm confident Tyson ends up. He just had a better deal, and now it's Frank's job to sort the fight out. That's as simple as that. There's no ducking as far as I'm concerned from Tyson. I'm confident about it. He's moving into it.
Yeah, alright then. Wait, let me just pull up here. Hang on a minute now. Stig, question 2, Stig. Stig used to be Hot Stig and a Lone Ranger on Twitter, but now, why have you created this Fury Power group?
Because I wanted to change the way I operated. I used to go down, I used to go on sites and people would give me speak, and I'd go down, I'd like all comments, and I'd reply to every negative comment, and then I'd interact. Well, if they then bit, I'd then argue with them indefinitely. Well, I just thought it was going nowhere, so I just wanted to do a calmer, more magnanimous, positive impression. That's what I wanted to create, and the people that work with me, all of them agreed with that, and we enjoy what we're doing, so that's why we did it. Yeah, I mean, really, Fury Power 10 really isn't my account. That's just projecting the Disneyland image for the Fury. That's what that's about, and we enjoy doing that. We're just there to emanate class and confidence, and that's what we do.
Are you like as Tyson or Asgi and Ben Davison? Have they give you permission to do these videos on behalf of Fury Power, or is it just something you've done off your own back?
No, we do it off our own back. But I mean,
have they ever said that they don't like certain things you've done and you had to take it back off?
No.
No, so they haven't got a problem with it. Well, that's good then, isn't it?
Well, I mean, if they've got a problem, there's never been any communication about the videos. But I mean, in my view, they're the best videos on Twitter.
Apart from mine.
I'm really proud of those videos, and they get the message out there, and they're classy, and they're dignified, and they're a bit of fun. So, and that's all part and parcel of ESPN and Disneyland as far as I'm concerned. And, you know, it's harmless humour. Having a go at Eddie and AJ. That's what we're doing, and I think it's great. I'm really, really proud of those videos. Yeah.
All right, well, that's good. And the final question from your nemesis, Roscoe. I hope you're enjoying this, Roscoe. Final question is... I forgot what question it is. Oh, where do you see Tyson in 2 years? Where do you see him? Will he have a belt, or what? Where do you see him in 2 years? And what will he still be in boxing, or what?
Oh yeah, well I think Tyson has realised that he's talented for a reason, and that's to make the most of that talent and show people that you don't have to be oppressed by negative comments and disapproval by others. You just got to look after your talent. And I see Tyson in 2 years' time getting up every morning, training, and just acting like a perfect gentleman, and just carrying on doing that. Who he does or doesn't fight, that's not his fault. His job is to keep on looking after his talent. That's Tyson's job. That's always been Tyson's job. And from comments he's made recently, saying to Frank and at that BT interview with John Rawlings, saying that, you know, it all sounds very good. Let's see in 2 years' time where it takes us, because it's their job. It's not Tyson's job to make and promote fights. It's Tyson's job to look after his talent every day, to watch his diet, to not drink, to not do drugs, to be positive and appreciate what he's been entrusted with. It's Frank's job and Bob Aaron's job to make the fights, and Tyson just has to keep on looking after his talent, and it will all work out. I'm confident of that, and that's always been the case for us. It's not complicated when you're that talented. Yeah,
that's good. That. I tell you what, Stig, you're on your game today, aren't you?
Oh, thanks, mate.
You're on your game. What else do you want to talk? Oh, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I can't remember if we got cut off. Peter Fury. I've been in touch with Peter this morning. Or you've been in touch with me, sorry. And Huey Fury is going to fight in May on Channel 5. Opponent to be arranged. So, but he's definitely out in May. I don't want you to put that out on Twitter, Stig, until my video goes out. If you could promise me.
But is it going on?
It's probably people probably know anyway. But he said, can you know, just keep it hush for 24 hours. So I said, oh, you know, I'll make sure this goes out. You know, probably tonight or tomorrow morning. He says, not a problem, but any changes he'll let me know. He's going to let me know opponents. So that's good, isn't it? Huey's not going to be fought. He's not going to be on the shelf. You know, he'll have been. September 27th, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So he's been 8 months, which is a long time, isn't it? But he had a cut, didn't he? A bad cut.
Yeah. I've got. If I may say, there are two people in boxing, high people, classy people, really lovely people, who've said some lovely things to me. One of them is Peter Fury, who I love Peter Fury. He is such a decent, genuine, honourable man. I love the both bits. And the other is Dennis Hobson. Both of them. So look, can you please send my very best wishes and Fury Power's best wishes to Peter.
Yeah, Dennis watches these videos, and I know Peter does now, so you've just said it, they'll hear that now when they watch them, so that's good, isn't it? So
I've got lots of time for Peter. Peter is a really lovely, genuine, sincere bloke, and it's that I love. That's what I'm about. Mate, I'm not obsessed with the Furies. I'm obsessed with people being genuine and real and truthful and making the most of their talents in life. That's just striving for excellence, and that is Peter Fury, 100%.
Yeah, I'm. To be honest with you, I could, if I wanted to, I could could go over there all the time, stick my camera. I mean, if you look at my best videos, they've all been with Peter involved, or you know, the Furies and that. But I could go over here every day if I wanted to and be in camp with them if I want. The invitation's there, but it's getting there, and I don't like forcing myself on people with a camera constantly, because Peter always looks to me like he's shattered. You know, he has all this to do with boxing, and then he has several businesses to it. And, you know, and a lot of people that he employs, he's got a lot of them running about to do. So the last thing he wants is me saying, when's Huey out, or blah de blah de blah. So I don't bother him, but you know, I'm going to be doing this series of 10 interviews with 10 people who I consider boxing royalty, and Peter's one of them. He's happy to come on board, so I'm probably going to put that together soon. And, but I hadn't really bothered him. Like, I know there is people who have him on their channel every week, and good luck to them. But personally, I don't like to copy other people, bothering people all the time. Have you noticed how certain people, for example, Eddie and Frank, they go back and forward to them all the time? I know, look, I might as well say it, I think Coogan does enough interviews with Eddie and Frank to last a lifetime. It's he said, she said, and who views? Well, look, that ain't way we're moving forward. It'd be nice, but to make the channel pay for itself, but I'm not in it to have boxing off. But like I said, there's going to come a stage soon, maybe in the next couple of years, where it's got to start changing, or I'm going to have to start pulling my finger out and doing other things as well as this, because it's starting to be very expensive. But I'm not going to sink just yet, and I've never been a quitter in my life. I'm one of them, or I'm the type of guy, if I lose 100 quid on an horse and I'm still in bookies, I will keep going and do everything in my pocket and pray to the Lord I haven't got a credit card on me, because that would be very dangerous, because I'm a chaser, me, if I have a bet. But so I'll see this channel through to end. I'll see it through. Yeah, go on, yeah.
Look, especially when Huey's in camp, there's nothing wrong with you making regular visits to Peter to ask him how it's going and asking questions. And you should do that, because it's foolish not to, quite frankly, mate. Yeah. And look, I think you're proving to us in the course of this conversation that you are more than capable of conducting a civil, pleasant, enjoyable interview. And it'd be really, really good if Frank would also grant you interviews. That would be fantastic.
If who?
Frank Warren.
I won't want to speak to him. I don't even like him. Yeah, I don't like him, mate. I don't want him on my channel. Him old fish eyes. He's a wrong un.
Oh, come on. You're shooting yourself in the foot here, Russ.
No, I don't want him on channel. I don't want him on. I don't like the man. There's things that have gone on in boxing. For example, I don't know if anybody knows this. He owed Dennis 25 grand, Frank Warren, and he was dragging it out and dragging it out and dragging it out. And when Dennis actually cornered him about it, Dennis says, well, why don't we flip a coin for it? And he flipped a coin, and Frank called heads, Dennis called tails, and it were heads. So, but why didn't you? But if Frank Warren would have lost that coin toss, Dennis has then owed 50 grand. He wouldn't have got the 50. And there's been things happen since then with them lot. So no, they are not my cup of tea. But I wish them all the best in the boxing industry. But no, I am not a Frank Warren fan at all, mate, at all. Not since he rung me up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 Fridays on trot, giving it the big one on the phone, accusing me of sending a fish to, this is what I've heard back, sending a fish to his office now, as if I'd do that. So I'm innocent, but I respect his boxing ability for manoeuvring people, but he's done that many things to boxers over the years. I am not a fan of his. I don't like his style. That's just basically it, really. That's just my opinion. Right. He's not my cup of tea. Yeah. I'm not shooting with any foot. There's some people that I just won't have on channel, and he's one of them.
But hang on, Russ, would you agree that Bob Arum is an extremely successful person in boxing?
Yeah, I would, yeah.
Right. Now, do I keep on going on about you've got to forgive people when they've made mistakes?
Hey, listen, come on, Frank Warren's... Listen, he just folds companies, doesn't it, when it suits him? And people are left out of pocket. No, I don't like his business practice. Bob Arum's never gone bust, and neither has Eddie Hearn. They get my respect all day above old fish eyes. I'm sorry, but well, no, mate.
Bob also
Plus
says,
Dennis is my close pal, isn't he? He's been like a big brother to me, so I couldn't do it, mate. I couldn't do it.
But clearly Dennis speaks to Frank, clearly. But Bob Arum said that in boxing you've got to forgive the other people involved, otherwise you just can't move forward.
Yeah.
So you need to do the same, mate, and move forward.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, but I don't think Frank would want to come on anyway, because believe me, there's beef there.
I'd enjoy seeing you very much interview Frank. I would enjoy that.
I'd tear him apart, mate, with questions I've got for him.
Well, but you...
First question I'd ask him, Stig, what do you think it is? Why is Anthony Yard WBO #1 and he's fighting guys ranked 30 and 40 and you're not even pushing to get him a title shot? Every time Frank Warren gets a guy who's WBO #1, he can't wait to manoeuvre them and scream and shout and plot to get him that title shot. But all of a sudden, Yarde, he's not worth a title shot, so I don't like how he does business. He's not my cup of tea.
Haven't the WBO ordered him to fight Kovalev?
Oh, Yarde.
Yeah.
I don't know, mate. I've not followed Yarde's career for a week or so now.
No, I think I saw this week that the WBO have said that they want Yarde to fight Kovalev.
No.
I think they said that this week, mate.
Oh well, if that's the case, then that's a good fight. That's a good fight.
Good interview for you and Frank.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, mate, yeah, Frank Warren, if he'd come on my channel, I'd have to do it. How we'd have to blag it is this: it would have to be on a phone call, and I won't be able to say I'm Porky's corner.
No.
But I do respect you, Frank, and I know you have people watching. I do respect Frank Warren, but I think that I'm a loyal person, and you've got to understand, right, that there's things that have gone on that I can't tell you about, mate. Listen, stop butting in, Stig, you do it all the time. There's things that have gone on that I can't, and I've got friends who Frank Warren's upset, and there's more than just Den, and I just can't. I can't have him on. I've got my pride about me, and I'm not one of them people that do it just for views. And I know I'm supposed to stay neutral and impartial, but there's some things I just can't forget and forgive, and he is one of them. But I don't mind hammering him on channel. But there has been times where I've been a Frank Warren supporter, and I do see a lot of moves he does. I think, God, he's still got it. And like my friend once said to me, Frank Warren could survive a nuclear blast.
Yeah,
he could, because he's a cockroach. No.
Well, Russ, can we just end it? I'd like to say that I'm very pleased that Frank has helped Tyson as he has, and at the moment Frank is the right person for Tyson. I'm confident of that. Yeah. Well, all right then, mate. Well, listen, you take care. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for coming on channel, Stig. It's always interesting with you, Stig. It's always interesting. So, it's a pleasure, mate.
All right, mate.
All right.
You take care.
Cheers,
Bye. Bye. I'm just at Mercedes now. I've come to look at this car here, 15 plate. That there. See it? It's got a little mark on bumper at back, by the looks of it. It's for a mate actually. It's a 15 plate. It's a C220, is it? It's a 4-door one though. It's alright. I'm just going to take some pictures of it for my mate. Well, I'm going to go in here and thank these for my grill. Did me proud. And wrap this up with this Stig thing. So thanks for coming on, Stig. Always very well spoken, isn't he, Stiggy? Let me get my phone here. Take some pictures of this. He's always very well spoken and. Good debate. You answered them questions pretty easy. I think you might have took a bit of a loss there on that, Roscoe. But it depends what you're looking for in Stig's answers. my advice to you, Roscoe, is just come to Dennis Hobson's show on 15th of March and get yourself a ticket, a cheap ticket, and you know, I'll get you into the other side, to the VIP part, if you give me a text. That goes to anybody off at Channel. If you get yourself a ticket, get yourself a ticket, and I'll read the number out for you. If anybody wants to go to Dennis's show on March the 15th, Commonwealth title fight for Tommy Franks, just ring this number. Ring this number and ask for Michelle and tell them you follow Porky's Corner and Russell's gave you a number. It's 0114 243 443. If you ring that number, tell them you want a cheap ticket. It's at Ponsford, it's opposite Sheffield train station, and I'll be there on the night. And you're more than welcome to come and have a beer with me and a chat. I'll be filming bits and bobs there, obviously. And if we get on, you can come to after party afterwards. It'll be a great night. Stig's been to a couple of them. He loves a good after party. Old Stig and his missus, Hot Heather. But school teachers weren't like that when I was a kid. Stig's got to be paying her to be his chick, hasn't he? Got to be. But yeah, good debate that. I don't mind Frank Warren, to be honest, when all's said and done. He's a businessman, isn't he? And he's going to manipulate things, how he manipulates things. That I just don't like how he does business, and he's upset some friends of mine over years. To be honest with you, Dennis admires him, so he will do from a business perspective, won't he? But you know, Frank Warren doesn't help himself, does he? That's why Sky got rid of him, innit? I know he says he left to do that other channel, but that's not exactly true, is it, Frank? We all know what happened. Ricky Burns against Nicky Cook. That was the nail. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. Or the final nail in Frank's coffin with Sky. But it is what it is, isn't it? You move on, don't you? I wish him all the best. I hope he puts Eddie in his place. And then if Frank gets to be #1, then we'll support Eddie, won't we? But I think Eddie earns change boxing, hasn't he, really? He's turned it on its head. And I admire that. So yeah, I better go give this guy a drink now for helping me out. So peace out, keep on trucking, keep supporting boxing. It's a fantastic sport, probably the best sport out there, and keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to go have a look at this smirk now, take some pictures for my mate, find out how much they're going to do it for. And see, this is how you get bargains. Go to main dealers and get a trading front back that's got like a scrape or something that's not on hit list, not recorded. See, that bike, look to that, needs... could need a bumper, that. Put a bumper on that, and my mate will be away then. A 15 plate Merc, cheap. Looks alright. I like white though. I don't like white, I like dark colours. I like them MLs, look at that there, ML 19 plate. Someday, Russ, someday. Oh, peace out. Have a good weekend, everybody. And don't forget to tune in to Eddie's show at Peterborough. While I was there, it's gone. It's already there. It's gone, but they're going to post me a service book all stamped up with the services that my car's had here. Isn't that good, that? I couldn't find it. I was looking in knicker drawer last night and sock drawer. I couldn't find it. So I've got it. £9.94. How cheap is there? So my mate's going to be gutted, and it's gone. If you're not fast, you're last. If you're not fast, you are last. But, other than that, I'm alright. Hey, I tell you what, I had a nice email from somebody who said they liked what I did with yesterday when I was filming. Frank was there, and that's good. That Frank's story were good one at Christmas about where he lost that money and he got found. He's a good bloke, Frank. He fetched me 2 right nice boxing books, and I haven't read them yet, but I will do. I'm going to read them. I look forward to that. He fetched me them boxing gloves, took me out for a bite to eat, fitted me grill, fetched me a pint of milk, because I had no milk. If that ain't a true friend, do you know what I mean? And if that ain't a true friend, I don't know what is. That's a proper friend, innit, that? Do you know what I mean? The word friend sometimes overrule. He's a close friend of mine. He is a close friend. Some people, they don't do that. Well, and I'm not used to that because I'm not a taker. I'm a giver. But some gorgeous makes here, man. I could lose my mind if I won lottery up here. I want to buy all of them. Every single model. Look at that one there. What's that? I don't like petrol, I'm a diesel man. But no, this is that other one that were for sale. Go on then, love. Hello. They're polite, Mercedes on. This is that one that were there the other day. Look at that. That's sold. Trade. Tell you, if you're not fast, you are last. I like that colour convertible roof as well. I had an Audi with that colour when I had a convertible. Was that black? Can't remember if it was black. Yeah, it was black, I think. I like that colour roof, like a purpley, innit? Look at that one there. Oh, I better go away, or otherwise I'll end up. Well, I won't be buying one, will I? I'll end up wasting an hour road testing one. But yeah, Merc's the best car. Range Rover's not for me. Trying to think which is the best way to get to Den's office now. Probably, let's have a look. I can't go over there, Central Reservation, where I go around. Yeah, I enjoyed that chat with Stig. It's a great wind up going there, innit? It's like going to somebody's house who lives in a mansion, innit? And then going back to your house. Great wind up. It's down here, innit? Yeah, I think boxing's got to change, hasn't it, as a whole. People have got to start fighting people and forget the money situation. They need to stop going on about, we want to secure my family. Well, the securing your family and abusing fans, has got to be a balance. Eddie don't care about that, does he? Eddie Hearn doesn't care about that. Oof. I've still got it for 48. Look at that, Porsche dealers there. Closed down, hasn't it? Who wants a Porsche? They're no good, are they? Too dear. It's not an everyday car, is it? But yeah, boxing's got to change as a whole. But that aside, I think that this show at Peterborough, I think it's quite poor. I don't want to hear about this next gen. Next gen means we're not giving you what we promised you, but we're going to give you. But you've got to understand that it's called next gen So that when you complain, you can say, yeah, but it's the next generation, isn't it? It's the next generation. They're going to be kids who've not had many fights and blah de blah. But that is not the criteria. You can't jump from next gen shows with novices on to Joshua pay-per-views and stuff like that. Abe Elliott, and they keep pushing Khan Brook. Who's to say that Amir Khan against Kell Brook isn't going to go on another channel for really good money? Oh, I nearly said something then, didn't I? Who's to say that that's not going to happen? It going on a really good channel, or a channel other than Sky. It goes on another channel, and they both get what they want. Kell gets a set fee, so he knows no matter what he's going to get that X amount. Khan's going to get the lion's share, innit, because of his CV, beat 10 world champions, hasn't he? But as far as I'm concerned, if Kell Brook hadn't have lost against Golovkin, he'd be calling shots, wouldn't he? But you know, he made a mistake getting that fight, but he got paid, didn't he? But that's a good fight, that. And Amir Khan's dragged it out, hasn't he? He's dragged it out and waited for Kell to slip, hasn't he? To get older, to have a couple of losses. I mean, let's face it, Kell Brook's only lost to Hall of Fame fighters. Errol Spence, Hall of Fame. Golovkin, Hall of Fame. No shame in that, is there? There's no shame in only losing to Hall of Fame fighters. Ricky Hatton lost to 2 Hall of Fame fighters. I don't count that Senchenko loss, because that wasn't Ricky Hatton, was it? Who fought Senchenko? It was somebody who'd come back after a long layoff and wasn't the same fighter. But yeah, who's to say that it's even going to go on Sky? I mean, Frank Smith with the spots. Execute them, Frank, with Oxy 10. Frank Smith from Matchroom with the spots. I bet Emily Eubank squeezes them for him. Right, bus stop. I've just had a 30 quid fine. See how easy it is to go in a bus stop, bus lane. But yes, it's still a good fight, isn't it, that Brook Khan? I know it's lost a bit of sparkle, but with the right promotional team around it, you never know. I mean, I know people who are interested in getting that fight. I know people that are very interested in getting that fight. That's the Institute of Sport there on Attercliffe Road, where Joshua trains, in a lottery funded building. So I kicked door down and asked him why they're training matchroom fighters there when it's supposed to be for amateurs. Well, it's right, isn't it? Why are they doing that? Because McCracken's letting them do it, isn't he? He's letting them get away with it. So, do you know what I mean? But I think I need to start getting out more with camera, don't I, really, instead of being stuck in that office. I need to get out more with camera and start, you know, just go out, put 80 quid in it and just go. Put cruise control on and go. But yeah, it's this one here. We'll go see Den Den. We'll go and see Den Den if I've gone right way. I know where Dennis will be. What time is it? 12:30. He'll be in Fish and Chip. We'll be eating Fish and Chips. It's Fish and Chip Friday, isn't it? Fish and chips is a big thing in Hobson household. They have to have fish and chips every Friday because his dad used to. So there's nothing wrong with that, is there? But no wrong with that. But yeah, I'd like to see Dennis get that fight with Kell Brook and Khan, and why not? Eddie Hearn's messed him about, hasn't it? But you'd have to say, if Eddie Hearn don't get it, I know this may sound harsh, but is it that way there? I'm trying to think which way it is now. See, this is alien to me, Sheffield. It's got to be up here, hasn't it? Let me put sat nav on. Is it up here? If Eddie Hearn don't get that fight, Kell Brook and Amir Khan, I think Al Heyman will get it and put it on ITV. That's what I think. I think that I think he'll get it, Al Heyman. I think he'll just offer him money, and they'll get it promoted somewhere. I think that's what'll happen, personally. Where am I here, man? Lost it, middle of nowhere. Let's have a look. It's going to be a sat-nav job, this, isn't it? You can't get a clue, have I? It's not as worse as Leeds, though, is it? That is terrible, isn't it? No, I've come the wrong way here. Oh, bloody hell, Russell, where are you going? No, I just think that it'll go to Al Heyman. Sat nav, destination, address entry, Sheffield, S H E F. Street, Jezzel Street. Let's have a look. Start.
The route is being calculated. Please turn left in 100 yards at the end of the road onto Coleridge Road, and then immediately turn left. Now turn left.
0.8 mile.
Immediately turn left. Now turn left. Prepare to turn right. Prepare to turn left. Please turn left in 200 yards at the end of the road onto Coleridge Road.
Wait a minute. Where is it taking me here, man? Yeah, I think Kelbrook and Amir Khan need to get at it, don't they, this year or next summer?
Now turn left.
But if they do fight, is it going to be... Cut out on me now, hang on. If they do fight, is it going to be they both retire and it's the pension fight, you know, like Bellew, De Gale and Groves? Is it going to be like that where guys are going right to the end and getting paid out? Is that what it's going to be? Is that what's going to happen? Is that what fans are going to be? These guys are going to get to end. They're going to overcook their careers where they're really way past the best and get a pay-per-view fight. Now, I don't think Kell Brook's way past his best, or Amir, but I think if anything, after the Crawford fight, if Amir loses, I think he'll have had his day, won't he? That's what I think. That's just my opinion. Let's have a look. Well, this is the EIS. Well, this is the EIS at Sheffield, look.
A6178.
So, that's the EIS, look how big it is. And you'll get Joshua's Range Rover, usually parked there. Usually parks it there. Have a look. So, but
now turn left.
Have a look. See where I'm going here. Right, going around in circles now, aren't we?
Prepare to turn left.
Prepare to turn left. Prepare to qualify. Prepare to qualify. But I just want to see Kell Brook get a fight. I want him to have a fight. I don't want Kell Brook to be on shelf much longer. I don't. It's not good for Kelly. He's the type of kid to just get disillusioned with it. I mean, you've got. He deserves some respect, doesn't he, Kelbrook? I mean, come on, look at who he's fought. He had them 2 fights that he lost on trot, and I know they were pay-per-view and that, but come on. He did help Eddie Hearn out there and get fans. He went from fighting guys that were C-class to mega elite guys. Do you know what I mean? So...
prepare to turn right.
But I just think that he deserves better, but he deserves a pay-per-view, Cal.
Turn right in 200 yards onto Chippenham Street.
I've never known such an hard place to get to coming this way. I'd have been better off just going Parkway.
Now turn right.
I'm an Englishman in Sheffield. But Anthony Fowler, is he going to win against Fitzgerald? Is he? That's an easy fight for him. I mean, if he can Carl Froch's nightmares for 3 rounds, I don't see why he's going to struggle against Fitzgerald. I really, really don't. But we'll see, won't we? But I think he wins a British title, European title. I think he wins the British, the European. Whether he wins a world title against them Charlos or what, I don't know. But could Anthony Fowler drop down to welterweight? I mean, he keeps saying he makes it. He keeps saying that he makes the weight easy. Well, can you drop down to welterweight? Well, it remains to be seen, doesn't it? But
prepare to turn right.
I'd like to see Anthony Fowler in a fight that's a 50-50. I know people keep saying this is a 50-50 and they're selling it as a 50-50, but I don't think it's a 50-50. Fitzgerald against Fowler, no, not at all, in my opinion. I just don't think it is. I think that the people that are pushing it as a 50-50 are saying it because they want to get people interested. Like I said earlier, the next gen name and concept that they're pushing, in my opinion, is an excuse to say, well, it's a next gen card, isn't it?
Now turn right.
People can say, well, that's a crap show, and Sky say, well, it's next gen, isn't it? It's next gen. It's like, what do you expect? The novices. Yeah, but we're not paying subscription on Sky for novices, are we? See ya.
Now turn right.
Do you know what I mean? We're not paying all them subscription fees and for novices. It's just how I feel about it. Why they can keep getting away with it, I don't know. But they will, won't they? It's a nice restaurant where I've been before around here with Dan and Chris Smedley. Where is it now? Sizzler's Grill, is it? No, that's not it. Sizzler's Grill. Let's have a look. No, it's not good, this Sky situation at the moment. It's not good. It's not good, but what can you do? I mean, they're putting all this on with next gen, right? They've got this next gen stuff on, Jordan Gill, for a Commonwealth title fight. Fair enough. They're going to build him up, aren't they? And you've got Josh Whale fighting in a British title fight